Last week, a guy pulled into my shop in a brand new Tacoma TRD off-road. The window sticker was still in the glove box. $42,000. He wanted a bed liner installed and an opinion on his purchase. I gave him both. Then I walked him out to my lot and pointed at 3 trucks sitting there, all under $11,000, all with over 150,000 miles on them, and told him every single one of those will still be running long after his loan is paid off. He thought I was messing with him. I was not. After 22 years of turning wrenches, I have watched people hand dealerships $35,000 to $45,000 for a new Tacoma when there are used pickups sitting right now on AutoTrader and Facebook Marketplace that will hit 300,000 miles on nothing but oil changes and basic maintenance, and they cost less than the sales tax on that new truck. Today, I am counting down my 3 favorite used pickups under $11,000 that will outlast a brand new Tacoma. I am going deepest on number 1 because that is the truck nobody sees coming. Let's get into it. Number 3 is the Ford Ranger from 2001 to 2011. Number 3 is the truck that Ford quietly perfected and then abandoned, and every mechanic I know has either owned one or has a buddy who refuses to let his go. You can find these right now for $4,000 to $9,000 all day long, and the repair costs are almost insulting in how low they are. I had a customer 2 years ago, a younger guy in his late 20s, come in wanting me to look at a 2019 Chevy Colorado he was about to finance. It was $23,000 with 74,000 miles. I inspected it, found a transmission shutter, a leaking transfer case seal, and an estimated $2,200 in repairs coming within the year. I told him to walk. He asked what I would buy instead. I pulled up a 2008 Ford Ranger XLT with the 4-liter V6 on Marketplace. 118,000 miles, 1 owner, clean title, $6,800. He bought it. That was 2 years ago. He has put 38,000 more miles on it. Total repair cost so far, a set of brake pads and an oxygen sensor, under $400. Here is what makes these old Rangers nearly indestructible. The engine options from this era are absurdly simple. The 2.3-liter Duratec inline 4-cylinder is naturally aspirated, timing chain driven, with multi-port fuel injection. No turbos, no direct injection, no variable valve timing complexity. It is about as mechanically straightforward as an engine gets in the modern era. Owners regularly report 200,000 to 300,000 miles with nothing but routine maintenance. The 4-liter single overhead cam V6 is the same story. More power, same philosophy, naturally aspirated, timing chain, built to last. The transmission options are equally bulletproof. The 5-speed manual in these Rangers is one of the most reliable gearboxes Ford ever produced. The 5-speed automatic is a conventional torque converter unit that has been refined over decades. No dual clutch nonsense, no CVT gamble. RepairPal gives the Ford Ranger a 4.0 out of 5.0 reliability rating, ranking it 3rd out of 7 midsize trucks. Average annual maintenance cost is $615, with a low frequency of unscheduled repairs and the probability of a major repair at 12%. But here is the real magic of the Ranger. Parts cost almost nothing. A water pump is $180 for parts and labor at an independent shop. Brake rotors and pads, all 4 corners, may be $280. Ball joints, $250 a side. Everything is accessible under the hood. I can do most jobs on a Ranger without special tools or pulling half the engine bay apart. Try that on a modern truck with a Turbo 4 tucked under 17 layers of plastic. When you are shopping for one of these, here is my checklist. First, check the frame for rust. These are old trucks now, and if you live anywhere with road salt, the frame is where problems hide. Get underneath it. If you see scale rust, that is normal. If you see holes or structural weakness, walk away. Second, the 4-liter V6 had timing chain tensioner issues on some early 2000 models that can cause a rattle on cold start. Listen for it. If you hear a rattle that goes away after 30 seconds, budget $800 to $1,200 for the repair down the road. If it is silent, you are good. Third, check the clutch if it is a manual. These trucks attract people who learn to drive stick on them, and that takes a toll. Feel for slipping on a hill start. Fourth, look at the bed. Rangers are small trucks and people overload them. Check for bent bed walls and stressed mounting points. Bottom line on the Ranger, you are getting a truck that Ford built for 28 years using proven components, sold to millions of people, and quietly became one of the most reliable platforms in American truck history. And right now, nobody wants them because they are old and small. That is your advantage. Number 2, Nissan Frontier, from 2005 to 2019. If the Ranger is the truck nobody talks about, the Frontier is the truck nobody even knows exists. And the reliability data on these is borderline absurd for the price you pay. RepairPal ranks the Nissan Frontier number 1 out of 7 mid-size trucks for reliability. Not number 3, not number 5. Number 1. Average annual maintenance cost is $470. That is lower than the Toyota Tacoma, lower than the Chevy Colorado, lower than the Ford Ranger, the lowest in the entire segment. And you can pick up a 2012 to 2016 Frontier V6 with under 120,000 miles right now for $8,000 to $11,000. Let me tell you about the engine that makes this possible. The 4.0-liter VQ4DE V6 in the second-generation Frontier is part of Nissan's legendary VQ engine family. This is the same engine architecture that Ward's Automotive put on their 10 best engines list for 14 consecutive years. It is naturally aspirated, uses multi-port fuel injection, and produces 261 horsepower and 281 pound-feet of torque. No turbo to fail, no direct injection to carbon up the valves. It uses a timing chain designed to last well beyond 200,000 miles. I had a Frontier come in last spring, a 2013 SV Crew Cab with the V6 and 187,000 miles. The owner was a contractor who used it as his daily and his work truck. He wanted to know if it was time to start shopping for a replacement. I put it on the lift, checked everything. Suspension was tight, transmission shifted clean, no leaks, no codes. I told him to change the transmission fluid, keep doing oil changes, and come back at $250,000. He looked at me like I was crazy. I was not. These engines routinely go 250,000 to 300,000 miles. I have personally seen one at 280,000 miles with the original transmission, still running strong. There are forum posts from owners with over 350,000 miles on the VQ40DE. Critical. On models from 2005 to 2010, Nissan used a radiator design where the transmission cooler was integrated into the radiator. The internal barrier can fail and mix coolant with transmission fluid. Forums call this the strawberry milkshake of death, and for good reason. It will destroy your transmission. The fix is simple. Check the transmission fluid. If it is pink and milky, walk away immediately. If the truck already has an external transmission cooler or an aftermarket radiator, the previous owner knew about the issue and fixed it. That is actually a good sign. From 2011 onward, Nissan redesigned the radiator, and this is no longer a concern. Here is my inspection checklist for the Frontier. First, check the transmission fluid color and smell. It should be clean red or light brown, never pink or milky. This is the single most important check on any model made before 2011. Second, listen for a whining noise from the front of the engine on cold startup. The secondary timing chain guides can wear over time, and while it is not an emergency, the repair runs $1,200 or more. If you hear it, negotiate hard. Third, test the four-wheel drive system if equipped. Engage it, make slow turns in a parking lot, and listen for binding. Fourth, look at the exhaust manifolds. Some of these develop hairline cracks over time, which causes a ticking sound on cold start that quiets down once warm. Not catastrophic, but budget $500 to $700 if you hear it. Here is the math that should make you angry if you just bought a Tacoma. A 2014 Nissan Frontier SV V6 with 100,000 miles is selling right now for around $10,000. A 2014 Toyota Tacoma Phi-6 with the same miles is $18,000 to $22,000. That is a difference of $8,000 to $12,000 for a truck that RepairPal literally ranks as more reliable and cheaper to maintain than the Tacoma. The only reason the price gap exists is the badge on the tailgate. Who should buy a Frontier? Anyone who wants a mid-sized truck with a proven V6, low maintenance costs, and does not care about impressing people at the trailhead. Who should skip it? If you need the newest tech, a Frontier from this era will feel dated inside. The interior is basic. The infotainment is from another decade. If that matters to you, look elsewhere. But if you want a truck that just works, this is it. Number 1. Toyota Tundra, first generation, 2000 to 2006. All right, number 1. This is the truck I have recommended more than any other to people who want a pickup that will simply refuse to die. And almost everyone pushes back at first because they hear 2003 Tundra and they think they are buying a museum piece. They are not. They are buying one of the most over-engineered trucks Toyota ever built at a price that makes 0 sense for how good they are. A first-generation Tundra with the 4.7-liter V, 8 and under 150,000 miles, is going for $6,000 to $10,000 right now. Cars.com consumers give this generation a 4.8 out of 5 reliability rating, and 96% of owners recommend it. 96%. That is not a truck. That is a cult. Let me tell you why. The 2 UZFE 4.7-liter V8 in this truck is the same engine Toyota put in the 100 series Land Cruiser. The same engine that powered the Lexus LX 470, a luxury SUV that sold for over $60,000. Toyota did not build a truck engine for the Tundra. They took their best, most overbuilt V8 and dropped it into a pickup. It is an iron block, aluminum heads, dual overhead cams, 32 valves, with a timing belt that you replace every 90,000 miles for about $500 to $700. That timing belt interval is the only major scheduled maintenance item on the engine. Everything else is oil changes, filters, and spark plugs. I have personally worked on 4 of these engines north of 300,000 miles. Not heard about them, worked on them with my own hands. Original transmissions, original engines, still pulling strong. The 4-speed automatic in the earlier models and the 5-speed automatic in the 2005 to 2006 models are conventional, proven units. No fancy programming, no 8 or 10 speeds trying to squeeze out an extra half mile per gallon at the cost of reliability. Just a simple, durable transmission that does its job. The best part about these trucks that nobody realizes? The first-generation Tundra is sized almost identically to a modern mid-size truck. It is shorter than a current Tacoma double cab, narrower than a new Frontier, and lighter than both. But it has a V8 with 270 horsepower and 313 pound-feet of torque that makes modern turbocharged 4 cylinders feel like they are trying too hard. You get full-size truck power in a mid-size truck footprint at used economy car prices. Here is my inspection checklist, and pay close attention. First, check the frame for rust. Toyota had frame corrosion issues on some models from 2000 to 2003, especially in salt states. Toyota did issue a frame replacement program for some second-generation Tundras, but first-generation trucks were not always covered. Get underneath the truck with a flashlight. If the frame is solid, you have a gem. If it is compromised, keep looking. Second, the lower ball joints wear out on these trucks. It is a known issue. You will feel it as a clunk over bumps or as wandering at highway speeds. The fix is about $350 per side. It is not a reason to walk away, but it is a reason to negotiate. Third, check for cracked exhaust. Manifolds. A ticking noise on cold start that goes away after a few minutes usually means a hairline manifold crack. It is common, not catastrophic, and costs about $400 to $600 to fix. Fourth, check the secondary AIR pump. Listen for a humming noise and watch for a check engine light. Replacement costs around $300 to $500. Here is my biggest tip for finding a great first-generation Tundra. Look for one-owner trucks from southern states. No salt, no rust, and the previous owner was probably someone who maintained it religiously, because Toyota owners tend to be that way. A truck kept in a garage, single owner, from Texas or Arizona with 120,000 miles is worth its weight in gold at $8,000. Now let me put this all in perspective with the new Tacoma. The 2026 Toyota Tacoma starts at $32,245 before destination, taxes, and dealer markup. Most buyers are walking out the door at $38,000 to $45,000 for a TRD trim. That truck has a turbocharged 2.4-liter 4-cylinder engine that has been on the market for 2 years. 2 years of real-world data. The first-generation Tundra's 4.7-liter V8 has over 2 decades of proven reliability with multiple examples past 300,000 miles. You are paying 4 times more for an engine with 1/10 the track record. Who should buy a first-generation Tundra? Anyone who wants V8 power, Toyota reliability, and the lowest possible cost of entry into a truck that will last another 150,000 miles without breaking a sweat. Anyone who does not need the latest tech, but wants something that starts every morning, tows without complaint, and costs almost nothing to maintain. And anyone smart enough to realize that the best truck is not always the newest truck. Who should skip it? If you need modern safety features like lane departure warning and adaptive cruise control, the first-generation Tundra has none of those. If fuel economy is a priority, the 4.7-liter V8 gets 14 to 17 miles per gallon. That is the trade-off for a naturally aspirated V8. And if you absolutely need a crew cab with a massive back seat, the first-generation Tundra's double cab is adequate, not spacious. So there it is. 3. Used pickups the market forgot, but mechanics did not. The Ford Ranger has dead simple engineering and rock-bottom parts costs. The Nissan Frontier is ranked number 1 in reliability in its segment, and it sells for half what a Tacoma costs. And the first-generation Toyota Tundra, a Land Cruiser V8 in a truck body, is available for under $10,000. You now know 3 trucks you can buy for under $11,000 that will outlast vehicles 3 and 4 times their price. Next time someone tells you that you need to spend $40,000 to get a reliable pickup, you will know better. If this kind of straight talk is helping you, hit subscribe. I have more videos coming on the trucks that actually make financial sense versus the ones dealerships push, like if it helped. Drive safe, take care of your truck, and it will take care of you. Take it or leave it. I will see you in the next one.